Hi everyone, Shannon and Michael here. Long-term care costs and healthcare costs in retirement can derail even the best financial plans. And as an employer, we want you to be able to help your employees to prepare for the future. When we talk with our clients, whether it's a business owner, an HR executive, a CEO, or a CFO, what we want to talk to them about is how do you solve these problems in the most tax efficient way possible for both your employee and for your company. And we've talked in some of our other videos about why HSAs can be great solutions, why 401h plans can be great solutions, but those aren't always viable options for every company. And so today we want to talk about a couple of things that any employer of any size can do for their employees, whether it's the whole company or just key executives. Michael, why don't you go ahead and give us an overview of some of the solutions we're talking about here?
Yeah, Shannon, as we talk in so many of our videos, we're trying to help executives and employees specifically avoid is the punch in the gut tax. There are going to be costs to Medicare no matter what your income is, but those individuals with higher incomes are going to pay more for Medicare. So what we're trying to do is to create plans that when that executive or that employee is retired, the money that they're drawing to pay for their Medicare Part B, their Medicare Part D costs, their out-of-pocket costs, and then for long-term care costs potentially, we want to make sure those are tax-free dollars because it makes a big difference. Mm-hmm. And so you as an employer can really help your employees create plans around this. Now, whether they're voluntary plans or they're plans that you as an employer are paying for, a lot of times, depending on the type of company, how you're set up, you can pay for long-term care benefits for employees without any tax consequences to that employee. Mm-hmm. So you can actually buy a policy for employees. They're not having to pay tax on that benefit and you get to deduct it. That's one way to do it. And it's one way we definitely encourage employers to be looking at, especially in today's world where recruiting and retention is so tough.
That's right. And long-term care might not be something that you're really familiar with, but if that's the case, make sure you check out some of our other videos on long-term care because that's actually the number one need that's not being met by employers, that employers are saying that they're interested in, that they need. Those long-term care policies can be a great way, again, whether you're paying the premium on those or whether you're just offering them to your employees and giving them the opportunity to be contributing to their own policies. It's really important and it can be meaningful to your employees.
Yeah, Shannon, another way that you can help employees protect this, we've talked a lot in some of our videos about term life or universal life or whole life even with living benefits that can provide a benefit should something happen to somebody while they're working and yet still have a benefit through retirement. One strategy we've seen a lot of employers start to look at is that they know their employees need death benefit protection while they're working, especially if they have young families or mortgages and things like that. So they'll actually buy a policy for the employee. They bonus them the cost of that premium. So the employee's paying tax on whatever the cost of the insurance is, but it's considerably less than what the employee would be doing on their own if they were buying a policy because life insurance is not tax deductible. When you buy your own policy, you're having to use after-tax dollars. Mm-hmm. So the employer can buy a policy. A lot of times we use policies that have return of premium and they can purchase that. It can be paid up at age 65 so that when that executive retires, they have that death benefit for the rest of their life if they want it. Mm-hmm. Or it has a return of premium so they can actually take those dollars back from the policy and use those to offset their healthcare costs when they're retired and it's tax-free.
Yep. And I think when we talk to our clients about life insurance, people kind of think of the death benefit alone sometimes. And while that can be important, particularly when you're working, the flexibility that these policies offer so that if something should happen to you, like you get sick or if you're in an accident, or if you just want to take that money out so you can cover some of these healthcare costs in retirement, there is a lot of flexibility there. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, and I think finally there's some other policies that you can use. We won't go into a lot of details on those, but those are cash value policies. Again, they can be whole life, universal life, indexed universal life. And those policies can actually grow and really, depending on how much the employer wants to put into it, can become a significant asset for that employee when they retire. And again, they can use those policy dollars to offset what their healthcare costs are going to be. And if they do it appropriately, it's tax-free to them.
Excellent option for those who really understand what healthcare costs will look like in retirement. And if you don't understand what healthcare costs will look like in retirement, we have actually created a personalized report where you can enter some of your own personal information, and we'll provide you with projections of what those costs will look like, including long-term care costs. So feel free to check out that report. It's the first link in the description below. And if you know that this is something that's important and that you want to offer your employees in some way or another and just figure out your options, go ahead and apply to become our client. There's another link in the description below. We've got lots of other content on things that employers should be thinking about, so make sure you check our other videos and subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell to be notified when we come out with new content. Thanks.